Hey, it's Cordelia Cooper. Hope you're really well. I'm the creative educator, and today we're going to talk about the differences between being in a classroom environment and learning in a tuition environment, because they're very two different things to support your children and of course have and give them better opportunities for the future. So as many of you know, I've been teaching for a long time, and I've stepped into tuition, and I run Splat Tuition. I've been running that for about 2.5, almost 3 years now, and I've seen a massive difference between the children and how they learn in a classroom and how children learn in a tuition type scenario as well. I'm just going to delve into a little bit of differences and have an open conversation about that. So when a child is learning in a classroom, as many of you know, there'll be one class teacher at the front and possibly teaching up to 35 children. Now, a lot of children, as you can imagine, have different needs, different abilities, different learning styles. They may come from different backgrounds. They may speak different languages, and all of this impacts the classroom dynamics. So because, and as we know, and it's very unfortunate, but it is what it is, with the lack of funding for schools right now, when I started teaching, we'd have up to 2 adults in a classroom, but now what I'm seeing more and more, the impact of less funding basically means that they're taking adults out of the classroom, and basically we're having the adults are stretched between a couple of classes. So for example, the last scenario that I was in when I was teaching is we would have myself as a teacher, of course, and then we'd have a teaching assistant known as TAs. This TA was spread throughout 4 classrooms, so the children, and that she specifically targeted those children with additional needs. So from time to time she'd take a few children out of the classroom and give them, small tutoring or small support outside of the classroom, because of course, teaching them in a scenario where you have 35 children, it was very complex, and so that really helped those children with additional needs. But then you have those children, some of them are really far in front, really flying with their education, doing really well. You may have some children that are a couple of rungs below where they should be working out, and sometimes COVID has really impacted a lot of children at this point in time. I saw this chart, I think it was on Facebook or something like that, whereby the impact of COVID is so significant, where you still have quite a few children that are working 1 to 2 year levels below where they actually should be. So what happens when they're going to leave primary school in year 6? A lot of them, this is really unfortunate, but a lot of them, they won't be up to a good standard of reading, just a simple life skill reading. They won't be up to a good standard of simple basic mathematics, and this is why myself and my fantastic tutors have decided to focus upon primary school level, because we want to get these fantastic children at least up to a decent level where they can use their skills out in the world. And at the end of the day, reading and writing is a very basic skill, simple mathematics. They're going to need this in the future. So it's not all about getting them the A stars and getting them the best grades. It's simply about giving them life skills which they will need in the future to support them, and of course to help them and give them the best opportunities. So taking children outside of a school classroom and giving them additional tuition is phenomenal for children, because number one, tutors are able to get to know the children. They're able to find out where they are right now and what support they need. You cannot do that in a classroom on a one-to-one basis, because a teacher will have up to 30 to 35 children. So you can't pull one child aside and really get to know them. It's simply, this is the curriculum, this is what we're going to teach you. Do your best, listen, try and learn, try and implement what we're teaching you, and try and do your best. It's that kind of scenario in a classroom. Tuition is fantastic because we really get to know where they are right now, and we can take them at a slower pace if needs be, and of course we can take them at a quicker pace if needs be as well. So the pace is set to an individual child. Again, you cannot do this in a classroom. You are moving, as a teacher, you need to move at a ballpark pace for these children, because you can't move at 30 different paces. It's just, you just can't. We say in a classroom we're going to be as effective as possible. We're going to be challenging as possible. Every child matters. Yes, it's phenomenal, and of course every child does matter, but let's be realistic now. 1 teacher to 30 children. Of course every child matters, yes they do, but we're not teaching at a level suitable for every single child. We just don't have the time, the facilities to do so in a classroom, which is why tuition is really good for children. It just gives them that additional boost, and of course we can move at a pace that is more suitable and effective for them. And at the end of the day, it's all about giving them opportunities, finding out where they are, finding out what they need, and then moving them forward as well. And the last thing is, we can really understand if they have any learning gaps. Now, when a teacher is teaching in a classroom, we can't stop. If, for example, let's say time, because time is a big one in the classroom, we can't say to children, right, we're going to teach time. If, for example, a child doesn't know how to count in their fives, which is a skill that you need to tell the time, of course. If you can't count in those fives, we can't stop the lesson for 3 children that can't count in their fives and go back and support them for that whole lesson to count in fives. It's not going to happen. If we have a TA or someone that's supporting us in the classroom, yes, that's great. Of course, we might be able to give them extra intervention, but to learn to count in fives is not a 1 session thing. That's not going to help. But with additional tuition, a tutor can say, hang on, we need to take a step back. We're going to use 3 sessions to help you count in your fives. We're going to give you a little bit of homework to help you count in your fives as well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to teach you to tell the time, because you can now you can now count in fives. So it's all about building those building blocks. I love to use this analogy of a brick wall. So you lay the foundation of the brick wall, and then of course you just build the bricks on top. Concrete, and then bricks, and then concrete. I think it's called concrete, I don't know, but whatever it is they put between those bricks, and then you have a nice sturdy brick wall. Now, if a child has learning gaps, unfortunately that brick wall will crumble. It won't be as strong and sturdy as it needs to be. Now, what tuition does is, in tuition, you can look between those bricks, you can find out where those missing gaps are, and you can simply fill them in, you can plug them in, because we're able to move at a pace that is suitable for each individual child. And unfortunately, this is something that they cannot do in a classroom. We cannot stop and support one child in something that they don't quite understand or didn't quite grasp a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, which is why tuition is really effective for children. It gives that personalised stance upon education, and we're able to be much more effective and find out what these children need and support them to move forward. So that's just a quick overview of how tuition really supports our children and why it may be what you need to seek out for your child in the long run, because in a class of up to 35 children, unfortunately, we're not able to get to the nooks and crannies and really support these children as much as we can with tuition. I'm Cordelia Cooper, the Creative Educator. I hope that helped. Have any comments, anything that you'd like to ask, simply pop it in the comments below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'll see you on the next one. Hope that helps.